All right, so here I am looking like a hipster douche from probably 1997. Or maybe I look like a failed member of some low budget boy band. So, anyway, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually testing a new device that I got for client work. It is the AtomX Cast. Boy, does that roll off the tongue. And I actually bought it from AV Shop in Toronto. And the reason that I bought this is because I wanted to have the ability to basically not have a huge switcher for smaller client projects that I have that don't need a big, huge setup. And I have an event that I'm going to be testing it out on, and that's one of the reasons I have it. So right now, I just have two cameras set up to it. I have two Sonys. I have an A6300 and I have a A6000. And it's just a matter of, they're pretty close in terms of color. I need to do a little bit of tweaking, but right now I'm just kind of making sure that they work okay. And I'm also using a lower quality codec. I'm actually using the DNxHD, I think it's 36. So because I have to record the event for an extended period of time, and I don't really necessarily need to have a full broadcast codec. The quality just needs to be good, so it doesn't have to be in 10-bit, it can be 8-bit. There are a few things about this device that I don't particularly care for right off the bat. Well, really just one. One is that for whatever reason, you don't get the they don't actually give you H.265 as a codec. I'm not really sure why they do that, to be honest with you. To me, it seems a bit of a waste. If you have the Ninja 5 Plus, which of course I don't actually have when I'm looking at it, you don't have to pay for it. They give you the H.265 codec right off the gate, which is nice. I mean, but for those of us low budget people that got the original Ninja 5, rather than the Ninja 5 Plus, because I don't know if it was out yet when I got this, you have to pay $100, okay, $99 US, just to get H.265. I mean, come on. Now, you could say, oh, well, you know, what are you whining about? You could just transcode it later. But if you have client deliverables and you want to be able to give them something right away, it's nice to be able to actually give them a codec that they can use. And H.265 is kind of the upgrade of H.264, and it's very easy for anybody really to run H.265. You're not going to go, well, I don't have this codec and I don't have this codec. H.265 is pretty common now, so it's a good client deliverable. So that's my one quirk. To me, it seems a little cheap to want to charge that kind of money, like $100 US, which is about 120, 130 Canadian, just to unlock a codec that everything else I have has in the first place, just so that I can basically encode it on the fly. But other than that, I really like the device. It is very robust, it is extremely well made, and it was cheap. I mean, I paid, I think, $349 Canadian for it, which is, you know, subtract $50 or $100 from that. So it's not a very expensive device. And it's, as I say, it's very robust. So it's very well made. It feels very solid. It feels like my Black Magic switcher. And it feels like a lot of the larger broadcast equipment that I used back in my, you know, CJOH, back in my broadcast network television days. So it's very, very well made. It's solid, like all the AtomX projects are. I've had my Ninja 5 for quite some time now. I've had it probably maybe close to 2 years now. So I'm very, very happy with it, and I've used it on a number of major projects, and I've used it on major network television shows. I've used it for Fox, I've used it for ABC, I've used it for CBS, I've used it for NBC, I have used it for major international corporations, and I have used it for major government clients as well. So it's pretty much been used in the biggest ways that you can think of: major Fortune 500s, major American television networks. And so I can't complain about the build quality. The device is very intuitive. I was able to pretty much run it, and it ran as soon as basically I took it out of the box. I didn't have to do too much to it. I did involve a fair amount of swearing because I don't really do, historically I've not done a lot with my Ninja 5 other than just record. So I have not typically really needed to do anything other than record, so I haven't really had much of a need to update the firmware. The problem is the last time I updated the firmware it was so long ago that basically the AtomX the AtomX Cast didn't exist yet, or it didn't exist in the form that it recognized it. So right off the bat, there's like an input and or source, and the source toggle actually wasn't even in my version of the firmware. So right off the bat, I had to upload the firmware, or I had to download the firmware and basically have that running, and then that's basically what I did with the device. So what I'll do is I'm going to probably do a few more of these, and I will upload them, and I'm just going to play around with it and see how it functions. But other than that, I personally can't complain. I'm quite happy with the device. I think it's a good, well-made device. But again, I've had the thing for a grand total of not even a day. I basically turned the thing on at like maybe 2, 3 o'clock and was getting the testing and everything set up, and here we are now. So we'll put it through its paces and see how it is. And so yeah. So the other thing too, which is completely unrelated to the professional stuff, is I got my El Cheapo headset, and it's now running nicely and on my PS4. So now if I feel like it, I can just kind of play video games, and I can stream if I feel like it, and look like a hipster douche from 1998, which is pretty much what I look like right now. So you can go ahead and laugh. Go ahead and laugh. I look like an idiot. I know I look like an idiot. It's cold, and I don't feel like doing my hair right now, and so, you know, at least this is the look that I'm going for. So I have noticed a new subscriber and a few new subscribers. So thank you to all of you that have subscribed. Today, the Syracuse Orange episode of Go Nitro dropped for free at 4:30, and yeah. So this is my test, and for those of you that have managed to stick around that long, I am truly sorry, but at least we know it works now, so I'm pretty happy about that. So have a good one, and now I'm going to test this and see how it looks, and hopefully it doesn't look like shit.